All right. Hello, I'm Peter. I work here as a scientist in the radiotherapy department across the road. And when we think of science in medical, in healthcare, we think of this, right? A cure for cancer. We're going to come up with a cure for malaria, fix ALS. That is our hospital of the future. But if we're a bit more realistic and actually look at the projections of the hospital of the future, well, say for realism, this is a problem, right? Healthcare demand is actually absolutely skyrocketing. So at present, we have 1 in 7 of our workforce is working in healthcare. In 2040, it's 15 years from now, we need that number to be 1 in 4. Where are we going to get these people? We're not. So we shouldn't think of the hospital of the future, all these cures that we can now fix. We have to worry that we can still fix what we can fix today. So the answer is, of course, an AI super doctor. We have to focus on automation and treatment efficiency. And with efficiency, I mean when we hear that medication is 30% effective, that's absolute nonsense. It's 100% effective. It binds exactly to the receptor you designed it to bind to. You just gave it to the wrong patient. That symptom is not correct. So you did your judgment wrong. So we need a different approach. So we need Dr. House on a chip. So luckily, some of you actually recognize this person. So it's an old TV series, and Dr. House, how he did his medicine, he noticed that a patient was from a rural area. He saw that in the patient file. And then he saw some dirt under the fingernails. So then it goes, well, must be a farmer, must be using pesticides. Pesticides cause Parkinson. You have Parkinson, next episode. So that's how it worked. But we want an AI like that. We want an AI doctor that integrates all information we can get from our patient and actually comes with an answer that is 100% correct all the time. But in order to do that, the more factors you want to put into your model to take into account, favorite food, color of hair, whatever, all the characteristics, the more you put in, the more patient data you need. So we need to have massive databases with all the patients in the world in a single database. Now that is a logistical nightmare, but also, do we really want that? Do we trust our governments to not use that database against us? It's a privacy issue, right? We don't like this stuff. So this is not reality yet. But today I'm going to talk about what we can do in AI and how far we're away from this Dr. House on a chipset. So let's start off with an example of pure automation. So if you suspect of prostate cancer, you get a biopsy. So this is work from our hospital, where the pathologist looks through a microscope and gives the slide a grade. And the higher the grade, the worse it is. So a more aggressive tumor, and chance that it comes back after treatment goes up. So you don't want a high number. So the pathologist goes and looks at his microscope and sees this, and starts painting effectively. And in the end, this would be a 5, so yeah, unlucky. So we can also do this with an AI, of course. And you see the AI performs roughly in the range of good pathologists.
So we've okay, done. But you could also say, if you look a bit closer, can we do better? As if you now look at this, like, look at this.
Pathologist in the middle there. If that is your doctor, you don't feel very comfortable, do you?
We want to actually help
our pathologists. So can we help? So like, what if we first let the AI judge the slide and then let the pathologist look at it with some hints from the AI? And if you do that, you actually get
this result.
So overall performance goes up and there's no bad doctors anymore. It doesn't matter which hospital you go to. So that's a win-win, right?
So this is good, but yeah, we do better. Yes, we can.
But we need to take a step back. What is it that we're predicting? We were predicting this number, and that number is somewhat correlated to survival. But if it's survival that you're interested in, why not directly go for that instead? Because why go from a single number to survival if you can use all gigapixels? So that's what these guys did. And they found that they could split up the data in high scores and low scores. So the orange group is a surviving group,
and the blue group is meal.
It comes back like after 10 years, 20%. So, and these patients all had the same Gleason grade. So this is additional information on top of the conventional scoring. So this is now superhuman performance. First we made them better. Now this is something a pathologist cannot do anymore. This is above their scale. So can we do better? Yes.
One last step we can do better.
Similar story, pathology to survival, similar model, just now it's colorectal cancer instead of prostate. But the same thing.
You train the survival model, it worked really well. And then they start looking into, like, digging into the parameters. What is it what you're using it to make this prediction? And if they then looked at what pathologists are looking at, like pathologists report tumor stage. You have a stage 3 cancer, and that is so and so related to survival. And the deep learning model told them, why are you wasting your time on that? That's only 18% predicted.
So why don't do that? Instead,
look for this particular cluster of the poorly differentiated tumor cells. If you see those next to adipose tissue, that's a bad sign. Focus on that.
And the pathologists could do that. They could spot those things. They didn't know that they had to look for it, but now they know. So we've come from a place where we first use experts to train AI, and now we have an AI telling the experts what to do, how to do their job. So I think we can conclude that AI is doing a pretty good job in healthcare
in this particular case. But now we need to accept it. Right? We are perfectly fine
having an AI play second fiddle and having a doctor responsible. We're not particularly comfortable with a solo one-man band AI. And the reason, there are many reasons for this. First of all, there's always this disruptive technology, revolutionary technology, always comes with a pushback. When phones were introduced in households, I'm not talking about the mobile phone, I'm talking about landlines. When those were introduced, people thought that was disruptive. The sanctity of the home was being invaded by something that could go off and then you have to talk to them. Trains were introduced. Man, God did not make man to go 30 miles an hour. Are you kidding? Your innards will surely explode. No, they didn't. A trick that's completely transformed towards transportation. So this is something I'm sure that we get out of it. We use AI already. Like people use it, GPT, all. Like this is something that bugs out. What we're not so sure about is we want our doctor to be human because he has social skills, empathy, all that stuff. Our AI doesn't. So that's why we want a human. And we also want the AI, the doctor, he knows when he doesn't know. He realizes, I don't know the answer, I have to do more investigation. If you ask an AI, the AI thinks, well, the user wants an answer, I'd better give him one. And he starts hallucinating. So you get a random answer that's no use. So we need to address both. First of all, I think emotions, empathy. Can we do a bit better? Because like, this is not the ideal situation, right? Like you have a text prompt and that's your diagnosis. So what we want is something like this.
Please feel free to stop me at any time if you have questions. We're going to be using a very targeted form of radiation therapy to treat the tumor.
This goes on. So this is an avatar. So it's meant to make it a bit more personal. So what we have, this is the guy just uploaded his picture, uploaded some sound files to get his voice in there. And everything else is LLM generated. The treatment proposal, the diagnosis, everything. And it makes it a bit more human than talking to a type. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to take over everything, right? This is not always, can do good enough for some cases. If you are getting the news that you're dying in 3 months, you want an actual human. They're not going to speak to that. But then I'm thinking, if we're going to focus on this empathy aspect that much, why are we then talking to an oncologist? Why not talk to a psychologist whose basic training, the entire thing, core tenet is empathy? So why we do just as long as the psychologist has access to the model and all the technical data, you're probably better off talking to them. On the other hand, there are also cases where you don't want the empathy aspect at all. We don't want the human interaction. Like most easy thing that comes to mind, anything to do with genitalia. People are more than happy to snap a picture, send it to an AI, get the result back plus the medication. No human in the loop whatsoever. Like, people would sign for that, right? Like, so it's not always the case that empathy, low empathy is bad. And this will suffice for most cases. It's just a really difficult case. They were huge humans, why not? Now, there's one other thing, of course. So we need it to be right. And this is really developments from the last year. Reasoning markers with agents in for reason. It used to be, okay, we put in an image, it has pancreatic cancer. Old models would come up with some nonsense solutions, nonsense street. The new models realize, I don't know enough. But I'm a large language model. I can generate text. I can generate search strings. Let me just Google it for you. And it comes back when it Google's the guidelines, how do you treat pancreas? Puts that in its local model, goes a couple of loops of reasoning until it's satisfied with its own answer, and then gives you that. And they've tried this in oncology, like it's a Google model, Amy, and they pitted that against
Medicine, like internal medicine students, so they train medical students and they're going for internal medicine,
so not oncology. They have people that are actually in residence at the oncology clinic, so training to become like a proper oncologist. So they have a couple of years in oncology on the back. And they have the blue ones. So the blue ones are actual veteran oncologists. In this study, they're always right, by definition, because their answer is what the others should get. And if you see in the results, the red one is pretty much always beating the gray ones. And if you look in this particular one I highlighted in orange, this is the measure here is the decision made by the tool or the people? Is that harmful? And
in the model only had 25% of the cases the decision was harmful. But look at the students. Like 100% of their performance was harmful. 100% of their decisions.
These people have done an entire medical training. They're in the oncology clinic training. 2 years from now, they're the blue group. And they made like, this is the performance you best. It's not perfect. 25 we still had. We need to improve. But it's really going the right level.
It's really in the right direction. So, and yes, it's not perfect, but remember this.
This was a generative AI 3 years ago. People were laughing like, this is the Steinhead that's going to take over the world? Are you kidding me? You can't even produce proper fingers. Try this now. It's not there yet. These models have to text this. The AI will be so cool. I'm sure we're going to get it working. And then when we deal with this demand and help, we have 15 years to fix this right.
We will have time to spare with the time, how fast AI is going, we will have time to spare.
And it's not nice that we have to adopt the technology that doesn't kill, right? We are doing something we're not comfortable with, but we have to because of capacity. But look at it in the other direction, right? We are accepting it to do. Aren't we lucky that AI is in the state that it's in? Like it actually able to solve this problem simply because AI is so very great. So, and if AI has fixed this for us, like if it can fix the demand, we can go back to work and fix anything else.